Hello, and welcome to the Circle of Love. My name is Shakisha Etnis, and today I will be speaking on Abort Me Not. That will be my topic. Abort Me Not. I can remember when I had my first child. I had my first child at 15, and 7 months after, when she turned 7 months, I found out that I was 3 months pregnant. And I can remember my mother going out of town to New Jersey. And I remember asking a friend of mine, Mom, would she take me to get an abortion? And I mean, I was terrified. I was afraid. I knew my mother would probably kill me to find out that I was pregnant. And, I just knew that it was going to be uh, it was going to be ugly for me. And like I said, I was scared. I didn't want to hurt my mom. And I can remember asking my friend's mom, would she take me to have an abortion? She said no. So I told her, I said, please, whatever you do, don't tell my mom. Let me tell her. And I was sure that I would tell her. And she came and told my mom anyway. And the one thing my mother always said to her children is to never allow me to find out anything about you from somebody in the streets. She didn't care who it was. You never allow an outsider to tell me anything about you. So that's one thing I want you to get from that. When it come down to your parents, it is a violation for you to tell someone else something as serious as that about you and not tell them. And then someone else come and tell them about their child. My mother was more upset about that than she was about me being pregnant. But going back to Abort Me Not, I was scared. She told my mom. My mother was furious. And I can remember my mother saying to me, you will not raise a nursery in my home. And you don't have to get pregnant by every man you lay down with. And I was like, what in the world? What is she talking about? I don't get pregnant by everybody I lay with. But this was my second pregnancy by the second guy that I've ever dated. And I can remember him my mom being very upset and crying, and she cussed the lady out and she cussed him out and she cussed me out. And she told me that she was going to make sure this abortion take place. And if I didn't want to have the abortion, I had to get out of her house. And I felt like I had no choice in the matter, and I had no one to turn to. But the relationship with my mom and it really meant more to me than anything. So I was going to do what my mom said. And my mother was the one taking care of me and my child. So no, I was not going to go against what she was saying. But with that being said, I had the abortion and it terrified me. I didn't eat. I didn't sleep. I didn't drink. I got so skinny. I lost so much weight. I was depressed. Um, I was just out of it. I hated my mom. I had a hate so strong against her that I never thought that I would have. And to just wrap this up, because I don't want to be long, but I had the abortion. And I remember my mom walked in the house and she threw some get well cards on my bed. And I was like, if you were going to give me the cards, why would you give them to me out of anger? But she was hurt. And I realized after the years went by and I had to come to a place of forgiveness, and this was even before my mom passed, I expressed to her how bad that made me feel because my mom had never had an abortion. She had never experienced what she was taking me to experience. And you know, it was like I aborted a life. So I come to share real briefly, even in your most fearful moments of not being able to go to your mom Or even to your husband. Your husband may not want any more children, and you got pregnant. But the bottom line is this: if we're not using protection to protect ourselves, we're not protecting ourselves from a baby, we're not protecting ourselves from HIV and AIDS, syphilis, gonorrhea, trichomonas, herpes, all of these things will become accessible to us if we continue on to do things that can bring on this type of these type of things. So when I think about a child, though, I can remember having an abortion, and I promised to God that I would never ever in life have an abortion again. So 2 years later, I got pregnant again with my third child, second born, and then I eventually 4 years later I got pregnant with my son, and I can remember my second child, my third child, not being an option for me to have an abortion. And my third child, when I told my son's father that I was pregnant, he said, well, this is your third child. And this is only my first. So, you need to make the decision for yourself. But I'm not ready for a child. And with him saying that, I just automatically felt like he wanted me to have an abortion. So I went to the abortion clinic with one of my friends, and I can remember sitting there, and a young lady walked in, and she was real big and pregnant, like 6 months, showing baby look like it's kicking and stuff. But who am I to judge her? Who am I to judge her by saying, "Oh, yeah, you're having an abortion